Welcome back to... Once again. Welcome back to... Snacks. Welcome back to GFN, the home of your latest gluten-free news. I'm Morgan. Let's look at the headlines. In our first article today, The Guardian reports that the global spread of autoimmune diseases has been blamed on the Western diet. Autoimmune disease expert James Lee said that the number of autoimmune cases began to increase about 40 years ago in the West. However, we're now seeing some emerge in countries that have never seen such diseases before. They reference that there has been a huge increase in cases of inflammatory bowel disease in Asia, where before they've hardly ever seen cases of that disease. Obviously, because human genetics haven't really changed that much in the last few decades, they're looking at environmental reasons as to why this might be. They've gone on to quote saying, fast food diets lack certain important ingredients such as fibre, and evidence suggests that this alteration affects a person's microbiome, the collection of microorganisms that we have in our gut which play a key role in controlling various bodily functions. I actually just put out a video on why we get celiac disease. How does celiac disease happen? So this is very timely, actually. They've explained it much better than I did though, but if you would like to watch that video, I'll pop it up here. In our next piece of gluten-free news, celiacs in New Zealand were outraged last week when a rumour started that the gluten-free and vegan trumpets were no longer going to be continued. Honestly, I would have been the same. It's an absolute iconic ice cream for the New Zealand summer, so I totally understand their outrage. However, Tip Top, the makers of the gluten-free vegan trumpet, did clarify that they weren't stopping selling the multi-packs, just the individual ones in the store, which is still kind of a bummer if you ask me, because that means you just can't go to a dairy and pick up one, which I think is probably mostly how people consume ice creams. Might be wrong. So they are still going to be available in the multi-pack, just no longer being sold individually. And for that, I give Tip Top a... In another piece of news from New Zealand, Andrew Trevelyan and Max Smitherham are planning to ride the length of New Zealand on their cycles to raise awareness for Celiac NZ. They will be stopping at a bunch of gluten-free places on the way, and you can watch their journey on their Facebook page. Here's a little message from the two of them.
Hi, I'm Maximus Smitherham.
And I'm Andrew Trevelyan.
Together, we plan on riding the length of New Zealand next year to raise $10,000 plus for Celiac New Zealand.
We start the journey on 1 March at Cape Reinga, and you'll be able to follow us by dialing into touraotearoa2022.mapprogress.com.
We will be providing daily updates of the ride on the Celiac New Zealand website.
We look forward to meeting you en route.
Yeah.
Lovely. If you want to donate to their cause, I will chuck the link in my bio as well. Let's play a little game I like to call Guess Which Celebrity is Gluten-Free? Novak Djokovic. We don't want him. Champion tennis player Novak Djokovic has recently come back in the news for many reasons other than not wanting to get vaccinated, and that includes his gluten-free diet for some reason. The Independent just published an article about how he attributes his success to his diet, which, you know, for an athlete, pretty much fair enough. They also went on to say that his diet is one of the reasons why he didn't get vaccinated, so we're just going to distance ourselves a little bit from that, but, you know. Men's Journal also reported on this, and I spied a wee nugget of information that I thought I'd like to share. They write, for anyone with celiac disease, also known as gluten intolerance, honestly, I didn't even read past there. I was like, well, if you're a little bit confused, no worries. We're all here to learn. No judgment here. Celiac disease and gluten intolerance are completely different things. They're both reasons as to why someone might not eat gluten, but as to what goes on in the body when you do eat gluten, vastly different. So if that's something you'll learn for the first time, no worries. Someone who's written an article about it though, maybe should know a little bit more about that, you know, before they pop it in there. In our last piece of gluten-free news for this segment, Dr. Shah, as in Shah, you know, Shah, has acquired a Glasgow gluten-free bakery. So now they've got another bakery in the UK. Dr. Shah UK has 16 sites in 11 countries already, offering a range of gluten-free products and food for special medical purposes, blah, 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 blah. Look, if this means we're going to get some more of the Shah products here, I'm all for it, because I feel like since Brexit, there's been like a definite reduction in those. Well, at least at the supermarkets that I've been visiting. So it will be interesting to see if we notice a change over the next few months, year. I don't know, business things seems to take a while. I'll let you know. In our next section, Gluten Free in the Media, didn't really find anything on television this week, so I wanted to talk about a couple of books. One moment. I have recently bought this fabulous, wonderful, thick cookbook called Bake to Perfection by Katerina Sumalj. Sorry if I mispronounced that, but her Instagram is The Loopy Whisk, which you may have heard of. It's a really huge gluten-free Instagram. This book is wonderful. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Katerina is like a scientist. That's pretty vague. She's actually, she has a degree in chemistry, and therefore breaks down a lot of the science behind baking, especially gluten-free foods. If you've been baking yourself a little while but feel like you wish you just sort of understood some things a little bit more, I'd highly recommend this. If you're just starting out in gluten-free baking, I'd highly recommend this. It's got a lot of information. All the recipes are like basics, not basics as in boring or anything, just like good basics and good explanations as to why things turn out like the way that they do. So you won't find anything like crazy in here. Like we've got Swiss rolls, you know, cupcakes, apple pies, you know, and she really encourages you to like add your own twists onto it and stuff like that. Like it's just like giving us the tools, you know. One chapter that I really enjoyed was the chapter on brownies. Now she's made I think 8 different types of brownies in this section, and you might think 8 different types of brownies? What? Why do you need 8 different types of brownies? There's actually a lot of very minute but significant differences in cooking a brownie. For example, the shiny top brownie. Some people think this is the be-all and end-all of how to cook a brownie. Other people perhaps don't like a shiny top or don't think it's all that the rage and want a crackly top brownie. I sit a little bit in the middle, to be fair. I don't care, brownie's a brownie. We've got fudgy ones, gluten and dairy-free ones, there's white chocolate ones, salted caramel one. Like, it's just really interesting, and I found this book extremely useful already. It was £15 on Amazon Prime. I'm pretty sure it will be in bookstores if you don't want to go on Amazon. But yeah, speaking of brownies, and another bit of gluten-free news, Becky Excel is putting out her 3rd gluten-free cookbook, How to Plan Anything Gluten-Free, which is a little bit of a different book. It's a little bit smaller, more journal-like. You've got spaces to meal plan. She's got more recipes in there. I believe it comes out late March 24th, I think. So another one to get on if you enjoy her recipes. I don't believe that there is crossover of the recipes that she already has in her other book, but I'm not entirely sure on that. Looks really cute and helpful. I think it's a little bit cheaper than the other 2 as well. I think it's around £11 or £12. Let me know if you'd like me to get it, and I'll do like a wee review of it for next month's GFN, or the months after, depending on when it comes out. Let's watch some gluten-free TikToks, okay? Man, oh man, did I have to sift through some interesting TikToks this month. I have recently noticed a trend, which I thought we sort of got rid of, but the connecting weight loss and gluten-free diets together. I've noticed a lot of that on TikTok specifically, not in the gluten-free like communities, not in the celiac communities of course, just on TikTok and maybe in Instagram Reels a bit, places where you're going to be fed more, you know, of other people's content that maybe relate to you. There's also a few little bits of misinformation floating around, unfortunately. I think I've got a couple on here. As you'll see, there's a couple that I left in just because I wanted to talk about. But yeah, just a timely reminder to not take any medical advice off TikTok or Instagram or anywhere that is not, you know, a health professional, a dietitian, a celiac dietitian, your doctor. Just a gentle reminder there, because there is some unsolicited and just quite frankly incorrect advice floating around out there at the moment, so you know, stay safe. All right, let's look at the first one. Okay. Tell me you're gluten-free without telling me you're gluten-free. Sneaking a bread. We think that's absolutely fine. And then he's screaming. You see what I mean? I mean, of course, this person is not saying this is what you need to do. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But the first comment under that video was, tell me you're not a celiac without telling me you're not a celiac. Because, of course, you cannot just scrape the fillings off a bread and put it on your own bread. It made me laugh the first time I watched it because I was like, yeah, my God, I totally sneak bread. I'm totally related. And then it was just like, nope, that ain't me. Okay, next one. Some of them might be silent because they've got copyrighted music on them, by the way, just so you know. My gluten-free sister eats gluten. Part 6. Part 6. Let that sink in. There she's going with the pretzel. Oh God. I'm just speechless. I'm pretty sure this person accidentally made a trend out of it. So one of the things I had to sift through this month was also heaps of people doing this to themselves. Now, I don't know if they're celiacs. I don't know what their medical history is, but that does not look comfortable. I don't think you should be doing that to your body, because that would just be absolutely hurting your insides. Whether that's long-term damage or short-term damage, I think you just probably, shouldn't do that. Oh, and then I saw this one.
As a gluten-free girl,
Thank you.
this is what I look like before and after I eat gluten. Absolutely no difference, because I'm not dumb enough to make myself sick for a month plus just for it to...
Basically, yeah. Don't do that. Don't even do it for a trend. I've always got to have one from Phil Hates Gluten. The goat. Let's have a look. I can relate to that now. 1 second. If you didn't see my last video, I taste tested these bad boys against the sort of UK cookies and cream versions. Oh my god, I've only got 2 left. That is very sad to me. Okay, next one.
When you order a sandwich on
When you order a
gluten-free
sandwich.
and they say sorry about the bread.
Oh, we've all been there, haven't we? Oh, it's so sad. Look at it. It's so bad. Didn't even try to hold itself together.
A dramatic
Jenna!
representation of Gluten Free Facebook group. I don't think this has ever been asked before. It's a really, really unique question. But can I ask, what's the deal with barley? Oh my god, I can't do another conversation about barley malt. Just Google it. Just ate an egg, a boiled egg, and I feel really unwell. What could the problem be?
No, but
Maybe
it's
it's
so
the eggs.
true.
Oh my god, do eggs have gluten in it? Do eggs have
Like,
gluten? Maybe you
the
can't eat
accuracy.
egg either, or maybe it's like food poisoning, or like neurovirus, or like 1 billion things that we can't predict because we're not psychic. I was gluten, completely accidental. I fell on a donut and ate it, so I cheat all the time, don't worry about it. I mean, KFC is too good not to. Excuse me, I'm just popping up to say no, we don't cheat all the time. It's actually very dangerous. Do you want me to draw you a diagram as to why it's very dangerous? I just wondered, does anyone else get really emotional watching cat videos? I just wondered if it was like a gluten. Say, I've just tried to buy some gluten-free food. Vegans are everywhere. Why can't I stick to this?
Do you know, that's so funny. It's just so true. It's like every single thing you say, especially in January with the vegan thing. Yeah, it's annoying if they take away gluten-free food for vegan food, but like at the end of the day, they're just going to do what's going to earn them more money, so it is what it is. Let's watch another one from Jenna. A gluten-free Facebook discusses wheat starch.
When a gluten-free Facebook discusses wheat starch. Absolutely outraged. I've just brought some bread. It says gluten-free on the
I know
front,
exactly
but it
what bread.
contains wheat.
Oh, wait, the Shah
wheat
one.
starch. I've written to my MP. I've said in between all the parties you're having, this is a matter of urgency. You can actually have wheat starch. I don't know how long you've been here, but wheat is something those of us that are gluten-free can't have. Yeah. Can we have wheat? This actually makes a lot of sense because
It's the subtle patronising tone. It's Jenna, you've got it on point.
I had KFC the other day and I was fine. Admin here, I'm just going to post a link for you to read. You can actually have wheat starch, but it is different to wheat. It is. Well, you can eat it, but obviously not if you've got a wheat allergy. Like I've got a wheat allergy. I think we've all got a wheat allergy. That's why we're admin here. Actually, a wheat allergy is different to celiac disease because actually I've been diagnosed with gluten intolerance via hair strand testing. So what people that are here because of hair strand testing, they should be in another group. Like it's not a thing. Admin here. I'm just gonna have a little bit of a break.
Just turn off the comments, hon. That's so funny. Also, that strand hair testing. Should I do it just for lols?
I've been picked on 3 times today. Oh, because of my trousers.
What's wrong with your trousers?
Look at the fucking size of them.
Little guy. Little breeds.
I'm so happy.
Oh my god.
I'm so sad.
Yeah, so I just wanted to pop this one in just in case. I was just a little bit like, oh no, because this one got like millions of views, and it started some furious debates in those comments. So great that it worked for this lady. It will not work for celiac, so... Oh, let's listen to Taylor, celiac dietitian. Let's go.
4 tests you need for proper celiac follow-up care and monitoring. Test number 1 is a celiac panel. It's a blood test done to assess if you're responding to your gluten-free dietary precautions. Second test is a nutrient panel to assess for any nutrient deficiencies you might have as a result of intestinal damage from celiac.
Oh, no,
Third test is a bone density scan to assess if celiac disease has damaged your bones. And the 4th test is a follow-up small intestinal biopsy to assess for intestinal healing. I'm a celiac dietitian.
I only need it 4 years after. No, 5 years after I was diagnosed, and that will be next year. So I'll check in with my doctor. That could be a fun vlog. Okay, well that's it from me. I'll see you in my next video, which is going to be a good one, by the way. I'm going to be talking about my top gluten-free baking ingredients, like my must-haves in the kitchen for gluten-free gluten-free baking. So if that interests you, make sure you're subscribed, put a bell on if that's still a thing, I don't know. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!